Okay, if I promise not to argue with you, would you say it?
I'll say it.
Yeah, I won't even respond.
Okay,
Okay. I
promise you, I won't argue.
I think a lot of the discussion around the Marvel films and movies that they've just now dipped in quality now in the 20s is a lot of fake wokeism and a lot of cap. I think for a large portion of Marvel's runtime, a lot of the movies have been largely uninspired, unimaginative, and just plainly unfun. We just happen to be kids growing up seeing heroes that we had cherished and thought about all of that time, and that propelled us into believing the movies were actually way better than they actually were. I don't think they're that great as action films. I don't think they're that great as superhero films. I don't think they're that great as films in general. The only movie that I really think stands the test of time outside of just being known or labeled as a superhero movie is Winter Soldier, and I think that the Robert Pat Batman movie, as far as an actual film, is better than all of them. Yeah, that's how I feel about them.
I kind of agree with you, but okay.
I don't. What phase did I specifically see a drop off? I don't think it ever dipped in quality. I don't think the movies were ever that good. I don't. I'm not like me as a 27-year-old Miles. I don't think Endgame and Infinity War were that good. I think they had a lot of hype moments. I think it was seeing the culmination of a journey that we had started a long time ago coming into fruition. If I talk about the actual quality of the movie, I don't think the movie was that great, especially Endgame. I don't think Endgame was that particularly good at all. I just think it was filled with a lot of fan service and a lot of cool
moments. I mean, I agree with that when it comes to Endgame, but I think that was the point, so that's why I was okay with it. So I do think that appeal to Marvel fans. Like, you have to be on the journey to really appreciate Endgame and Infinity War. So I'm not mad at you saying that.
I think, Angie, I think Black Panther is one of the worst Marvel movies that was ever made. And I think if you color the Aquaman characters black, everyone would like the movie just the same because they're literally the exact same movie. I'm talking plot point by plot point, every single major villain, from start to end. So,
I will say I agree with. I think Black Panther is the most overrated film in the Marvel catalog. The community just went out and supported it because it was for the community. That last act is atrocious. That fight is just
the worst final fight in Marvel history.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous.
I'm not mad at the Black Panther. I will say, for me, the reason why I think Marvel is great is because it is. I'm attached to the characters. If I like go into construction of plot, sure, but I don't watch every movie to like highly critique the plot unless I'm like watching like a horror movie for the most part, because the horror movies need to be very particular. Superhero movies probably just need to get carried by the characters. So the movies that people think are not as good is because the characters are not good. Typically, it's like Captain Marvel, for example. Nobody likes her. Nobody likes She-Hulk. Nobody really cares about Moon Knight. Nobody cares about.
It's the best Iron Man movie out of the three.
Angie, the first Iron Man is the best movie. I don't think it's a good movie.
I mean, it's mid to me.
When we're talking all of those Marvel movies, I think, and this is where it becomes like a common opinion. Captain America easily had the best movies out of any of the main cast of the Avengers. I don't think anybody can compete. Like anybody can argue against that. But I don't think the quality of the movies overall were that great. Like I said, outside of Winter Soldier, I don't really have any Marvel movie like above a 6. I think they're mid.
Winter Soldier is
mid. Peak. I think Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier is elite. But outside of that, they're all mid.
I don't really disagree with a lot of the stuff that you said, Miles. I actually agree with the Robert Pattinson movie being better than any of the Marvel movies. I agree. No, like Marvel is what it is. Like, I feel like it's the equivalent of like a Demon Slayer or Soul Leveling. It's mid pretty colors entertainment, but it's like Marvel, and it's like it's comics and we love it. So it's like, but it's generic. I wouldn't consider most of those films good films. I think the pacing for a lot of Marvel movies are horrible. I feel like they compact things too much and then they stretch out things wrongly all the time. I feel like they flop on characters all the time. Thor God and Thunder could have been a phenomenal movie. Was it Christian Bale did a phenomenal that was a wasted performance. a wasted performance. Like, because he was fantastic, but the role that you gave him and the range that you gave him in the film was horrible. So they have good characters in horrible movies. They have likable actors in mid roles, and yeah, so I think people fall in love with the Marvel movies for the actors and for the characters and like
The journey.
for nostalgia reasons. I don't think it's because of like the actual movies itself.
I'm gonna say this. It seems like I'll be the contrarian. I like the Marvel movies for the most part. I do think they're good. I do think you're correct in terms of like objective, like if a certain type of structure with very unique plot points. A lot of them are similar, but I think that is okay especially if you're doing a very particular type of thing. I do agree that they flop a lot because of like variety of different reasons. You guys named a bunch of them. I do think there's more mid to bad movies than people would accept. I also agree there. Like I don't like love all the Iron Man movies. I think most of the Thor movies are kind of. I do really like what was it, Ragnarok? Was that the funny one?
That's the
I do
last
like
one.
that.
Yeah. Mhm.
That Ragnarok movie. That's the only one I liked.
Only good one.
Yeah, that's
no, the
one I
latest
liked.
Captain America movie had one of the worst antagonists I've seen in anything.
I didn't watch it. See, when I have a feeling that I know it's bad, I'm just not gonna watch it too. But I do think the job of getting us invested into the characters and appealing, comedy, just enjoyable. I do go into certain movies with different expectations. And when it comes down to like coming into the expectation of like these type of superhero, good fights, enjoyable, appealing characters, great moments, I do think they nail it a good amount of times to the point where the final conclusion of Endgame and Infinity War was fantastic. Everybody in my movie theater were going crazy because of how appealing they made all the characters. But the point that I 100% agree with Miles is I do think there's a little fake wokeism in terms of like people saying, "Oh, now the movies are shit." I think people just look at the threshold of like the Avengers movies and then Endgame and Infinity War and think all of the movies are like that. That's just not true. No, most of the movies were not that great, and nobody really even knew they were going to create an MCU until everything started coming together. So I agree to that point. Wait, okay. So you agreed that Winter Soldier is objectively good. Sure, in terms of movie structure, I understand what you're saying. Loki?
Loki's an exception. Loki's good. I also think WandaVision is pretty good too.
Okay. All right.